I think this is a great option that you don't see everybody wearing all the time, and I would definitely wear these as a daily pair that I really can just put on and not worry about. Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that caught my eye. I actually saw these on a Reebok advertisement and I really like the style of them. I don't have a lot of Reebok kicks, but when I was a kid, Reebok was as big as Nike and Jordan was. This particular shoe is based off of a shoe that was released in 1989, and I'm a huge fan of retro style that takes me back. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Reebok BB4002 shoes. So I would be lying if I said I remembered this silhouette from when I was a kid. I looked into it and it looks like the original shoe was called the BB4600 or 4600, and it was actually a high top. I believe it was a basketball shoe, and this is like a low top version of that. So I'm thinking that's why they call it the 4002. This silhouette in particular wasn't around when I was a kid. It's not like the Reebok pumps that I really remember from my childhood or that sort of thing, but it definitely has a style that takes you back to the late 80s, early 90s, and that's what I like about it. It's got a red, white, and blue box, which is like Reebok boxes from back in the day, but I think back in the day they had the British flag on them or something like that. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But anyway, pretty standard looking box. The tag reads BB4002. It says basketball, and the colors are some sort of white, a pure gray, and some sort of green. When I saw that gray there, I thought it said purgatory. I was thinking, what kind of color is purgatory? But anyhow, this is a size 10, and retail I think was $90. I know altogether they cost me less than $100, and I'm a huge fan of that. And have a look at these, the Reebok BB4000. I think these are sharp. I really like the colors used, and honestly, I have been kind of on a mission to find silhouettes that have that retro look, but are not just Nike Dunks or Jordans. I've been getting a lot of comments lately that people are burnt out on just the Dunks and that sort of thing, and I completely understand that. So I've kind of made it a mission of mine to go looking for retro looking sneakers that aren't as mainstream and as hyped up, and I really haven't seen much on these at all. My first impression of these shoes, I really like the colors. I love the style of them, and the materials are actually pretty decent. These are definitely way better than like GR Dunk materials or GR Jordan 1 Low materials or something. For the price of these, I think the materials and the quality, just based on my first impression, is really, really good. Since this is the first time that I've looked at these and I'm not sure about sizing and that sort of thing, stick around to the end because I will throw these on feet just to show y'all what they look like, and we can talk about sizing and see if going true to size was the right move for me. But starting with the outsole, it already gives you kind of a late 80s, early 90s vibe because like so many basketball shoes of that era, we have a pivot point here underneath the front of the foot. We've got herringbone traction like we see on so many other shoes from that time period. It's got some Reebok branding here underneath the heel, and you can also see that we've got the honeycomb pattern, which reminds me of shoes like the Reebok pump and also black tops. I've got a pair of pumps on my feet right now, but it really reminds me of that hexalite type pattern that we're used to seeing from back then. Pretty much the whole outsole is just this nice dark green color, and it definitely seems like a retro tread pattern. Then coming up to the midsole, you can see a little bit of that green from the outsole meets a sail colored midsole, and it looks like it's got sail colored stitching here at the front of the shoe, and then we also have that here at the heel. But then coming up to the upper of the shoe, here on the front, we see that we've got a little mud guard that is a decent feeling suede material. It's not premium, but it definitely has a nice feel. I like the color. It's a nice dark gray, almost like a charcoal or something. But you see that we get 2 rows of stitching here on the mud guard, and it's really a decent material. It's a nice thick cut, and the feel of it and the look of it is really good for that price point. But we've got that nice suede here on the mud guard. Then we have it going up the eye stays. We've got some overlays of it going on the side here. I like this little light gray piping that we have at the base of that panel. It's just one little hit of it, but I think it looks really, really nice. You can see on the outer half of the shoe, we've got Reebok branding there on that suede panel, and then we get more Reebok branding here on the heel, and that's another hit of that nice gray suede. But it looks really nice, and it feels decent for being a shoe that all in is less than $100. Like so many retro basketball shoes, we've got perforations here on the toe box. This feels like it's somewhat synthetic, not as bad as GR Dunks, but it doesn't feel premium. Definitely has a little bit of a synthetic feel. It feels much softer and like it's better quality than what we get for similarly priced shoes from Nike or Jordan. It doesn't feel as plasticky as those kinds of shoes do. We get a little bit of texture, and that base material is pretty much like a sail color, and you can see it there on the toe box and then underneath these panels on the side, as well as up around the collar and the back. But I like the color of it. I like that it's off-white, and I like that it's got just a little bit of texture, and it really does have a soft feel, even though it does have a little bit of a synthetic feel to it as well. Coming up the side, the only other material that we have is this green, and that definitely has a synthetic feel to it, but that just gives us our stripes. And we see that on the outer half of the shoe as well as on the inside, and that kind of matches the outsole as well as these little plastic hits here at the top eyelets. And then we kind of have this window cut out of this suede here on the back, and you can see another hit of that green and cream color. Our tongue is a soft tongue. It almost feels like it's like polyester or nylon. It doesn't feel like Form 84s or like Jordan 1s or Dunks do. It feels a lot softer and more breathable than that. It's almost like a mesh material, but I like the feel of that. I think it would be comfortable. And then at the top, we get more of that kind of off-white leather that we see for the base of the shoe, and we get that flag along with some Reebok branding, and it says BB4002, and that's in a gray color to match the piping going along the tongue. We get more of that gray for the sock liner, and I like that little accent. I guess that kind of ties in with the little bit of gray that we get for that piping. And then we also get it for the branding on the tongue and the piping going along the tongue, but then also on the sock liner. And then down on the insole, we get that green color again, along with some white Reebok branding. But that was a quick in-hand look at these. I really, really like what I've seen of them so far. I want to throw them on feet, see how they feel, talk about some sizing, and let y'all see what they look like. I'll be right back. I really like these. I'm really pleased with the fit of them as well. As mentioned, I went true to size. Same sizing that I go with for Dunk lows or Jordan 1 lows, and they are perfectly snug. I have a wider foot, but even though I have a wide foot, I did not need to go a half size up. They probably are just a little bit more snug than Jordan 1s, but they're really comfortable. I'm really digging these. I think this is a great option that you don't see everybody wearing all the time, and I would definitely wear these as a daily pair that I really can just put on and not worry about. I think I failed to mention, I bought these directly from the Reebok website, but I have seen where they're coming to a handful of other online retailers. I think I saw that they're going to be on Hibbett here pretty soon. They're available on End in several colorways. They may still be available on Reebok's website, but I haven't looked recently, so I'm not sure. But they should be a lot of different places if you're interested in them. I really like the look of them when you're wearing them from the top down. Simple looking, definitely retro vibes. Alright, so hopefully that was enough to give you a good look at these BB4000 shoes. I really like them. I think for the price, they're really decent. I like the style and the color combinations. They had 4 or 5 different color variations of them on the Reebok website whenever I bought this pair. So if you're interested at all, I highly recommend checking them out. I have another review of a pair of Asics coming soon that I also think kind of fits into this 80s style category, and it's another good affordable alternative to more hyped up shoes and stuff that you see all the time. So I appreciate you all watching this so much. Let me know what you think of these kicks, and I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.